Scientology's allure and alarm. Scientology. The very word evokes a sense of mystery. It promises spiritual enlightenment and a path to a better life. Celebrities endorse it. Its teachings seem profound at first glance, yet beneath the surface lies a darker reality. A reality of secrecy, manipulation, and control. This is the story of Scientology, a story that needs to be told. Guardians of Secrets. The enigma of the Church of Spiritual Technology. At the heart of Scientology's secrecy lies the Church of Spiritual Technology, or CST. This organization, shrouded in mystery, controls all of Scientology's copyrighted materials. Its symbol, a cross with an infinity symbol, is a constant reminder of the Church's reach. But what exactly does CST do? The CST claims to be safeguarding Hubbard's teachings for future generations. They have built underground vaults to protect these materials from nuclear war and other disasters. This may sound like responsible preservation, but it raises serious questions. Why the extreme secrecy? What is it about these teachings that need such intense protection? Former Scientologists have revealed that the CST is not just about preservation, it's about control. By controlling the dissemination of information, CST ensures that only the approved version of Scientology reaches its members. This control extends to the highest levels of the Church, with even high-ranking officials kept in the dark about certain CST operations. The CST's secrecy is a red flag. It begs the question, what is Scientology hiding? The answer, as we'll see, is far from comforting. Lisa McPherson. A tragic tale of control and despair. The story of Lisa McPherson is a chilling example of what can happen when Scientology's control goes unchecked. Lisa, a dedicated Scientologist, suffered a mental breakdown. Instead of seeking professional help, her fellow Scientologists took her to a Scientology-run hotel. What happened next is a horrifying tale of neglect and abuse. Lisa was held against her will, denied proper medical care, and subjected to Scientology's practices. After 17 days, Lisa was dead. Her death, ruled a homicide by the medical examiner, sent shockwaves through the Scientology community and beyond. Lisa's story is not an isolated incident. Many former Scientologists have come forward with their own accounts of abuse and coercion. The Church's response to these allegations has been to deny, discredit, and intimidate its critics. This brings us to one of Scientology's most disturbing policies, fair game. Silencing dissent. The chilling effect of fair game. Fair game is a term that sends shivers down the spines of those who dare to criticize Scientology. This policy, created by L. Ron Hubbard himself, authorizes Scientologists to target anyone deemed an enemy of the Church. These attacks can take many forms, from harassment and intimidation to legal action and character assassination. The fair game policy has a chilling effect on free speech. Journalists, filmmakers, and former Scientologists who speak out against the Church often find themselves the target of relentless attacks. These attacks are not just about silencing critics, they are about sending a message. If you criticize Scientology, you will pay the price. The fair game policy is a stain on Scientology's already tarnished reputation. It reveals the true nature of an organization that claims to promote peace and understanding. Section 5. The enigmatic founder L. Ron Hubbard's shadowy past and controversial doctrine. To understand Scientology, one must understand its founder, L. Ron Hubbard. A prolific science fiction writer, Hubbard created Scientology in the 1950s. He claimed that Scientology was a science of the mind, a path to spiritual enlightenment and superhuman abilities. However, Hubbard's past is shrouded in controversy. He was accused of being a con man, a liar, and worse. His teachings, a mix of pseudoscience and spiritualism, have been widely criticized by experts. Despite this, Hubbard managed to amass a devoted following, drawn to his charisma and his promise of a better life. Hubbard's teachings form the bedrock of Scientology. One of the most controversial of these teachings is the concept of body thetans. Section 6. Trapped souls and financial exploitation. The price of spiritual freedom. Body thetans, according to Hubbard, are spiritual beings from another dimension that attach themselves to humans. These beings are the source of our problems, our anxieties, our unhappiness. The only way to achieve true spiritual freedom, Scientology claims, is to rid ourselves of these body thetans. This is where Scientology's auditing sessions come in, through a process that involves an e-meter, a device that measures electrical resistance in the skin. Scientologists believe they can identify and remove these body thetans. These auditing sessions are not cheap. In fact, they can cost thousands, even hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. This is where Scientology's business model becomes clear. The pursuit of spiritual freedom, as defined by Scientology, requires endless auditing sessions, each with a hefty price tag. This system, critics argue, is nothing more than a way to exploit vulnerable people for financial gain. Section 7. A church of profit, Scientology's financial empire and tax-exempt status. Scientology's financial dealings have long been a source of scrutiny. The church, which enjoys tax-exempt status in the United States, has amassed a vast fortune through its various operations. This wealth, critics argue, is accumulated through questionable means, including aggressive fundraising tactics and the exploitation of its members. The church's tax-exempt status has also come under fire. Many question how an organization that operates like a business, with a focus on profit-making, can be considered a religion. These concerns have led to calls for investigations into Scientology's finances and its tax-exempt status. Scientology's financial empire raises serious ethical questions. Is it right for an organization that claims to be a religion to amass such wealth, especially when it comes at the expense of its members? Section 8. The illusion of freedom. Scientology's promises versus reality. Scientology promises its followers a path to freedom, happiness, and spiritual enlightenment. It presents itself as a solution to life's problems. However, the reality of Scientology is far different from its carefully crafted image. Former Scientologists tell a different story. They speak of a culture of fear and intimidation, of financial exploitation, and of the devastating consequences of leaving the church. They paint a picture of an organization more concerned with power and control than with the well-being of its members. The contrast between Scientology's promises and the reality experienced by many of its members is stark. It is a reminder that things are not always what they seem, and that the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment should never come at the cost of one's freedom or well-being. Section 9. Seeking truth and justice. A call for transparency and accountability. Scientology's secrets have been hidden for too long. It's time for the truth to come out. It's time for the church to be held accountable for its actions. We must demand transparency from an organization that has operated in the shadows for far too long. The stories of Lisa McPherson and countless others who have suffered at the hands of Scientology cannot be ignored. We must listen to these voices amplify their stories, and fight for justice. We must challenge the church's fair game policy and protect those who dare to speak out. Scientology claims to be a religion, but if it is truly a religion, it should welcome scrutiny. It should have nothing to hide. It's time for Scientology to step out of the shadows and into the light of truth and accountability.